there, I'm Construction Gamer. In today's episode of Midlands to London, I thought we'd head up to the Midlands, to the Midland Main Line, and get Leicester built, because we've built most of the Chiltern line now. I know we've still got little bits to do here and there, but I'd like to get the Midland Main Line constructed as much as possible before the next save file goes on. Well, I was just about to say go on Steam, but I'm still having issues with the Steam Workshop at the minute. I've tried uploading it again since a couple of weeks ago and it just hasn't worked, but there is a version of the episode 45 save file on a Google Drive, which should be a link to that in the description below if you want to take a look at that save file. Not quite sure what's going on, it just doesn't want to upload at all. I have tried lots of times, so yeah, unfortunately you just have to download the version and put it in your own local save file if you want to take a look at the save. Obviously I've still got the Steam Workshop collection, so all the mods and things like that I'm using should be listed on that, although that's not always 100%. In the last episode we got some lovely new trains. We got the Class 67 haul Mark 3 sets on the Chiltern line, which is yeah, it's still Wrexham Shropshire versions, but other than that it's just a nice looking set. Obviously at some point towards the 2010s it'll be upgraded to 68s, but I keep wanting to call 67 68 for some reason. But yeah, it's just nice to see those on the line. And what else we do? Yeah, we've upgraded all our trains in the last episode to more modern 2011 trains, so yeah, that's all done. Next we're going up towards Leicester. Well, we should be Loughborough. Leicester, yeah, that's the one. Let's just take a look at that. Loughborough, and then we've got Derby there. Just taking a look, because I've just been kind of taking an overview of where lines need to go and things. I don't think I've done any painting of where my tracks want to be, and I think already Leicester's massively in the wrong place, as is Loughborough. Just where is my brief overview map here? I haven't done any painting towards this end of the map, so if I just take a look, because I'm just thinking we've got Nuneaton here, we've got this track. Let's do a bit of painting while I'm here. This is what I do. But yeah, that colour, that one, a bit bigger. So we've got this track here. It does head up like a northwards-ish. Oh no, yeah, that's Loughborough, isn't it? Flipping heck. So let's just, maybe if we just head kind of straight-ish east like that, and then we've got, I think it's Knighton Junction. No, it's not. It's something else. I've written it down. Wigston Junction, I think. Yeah, so we've got a Delta Junction there. Then we've got the tracks heading off south. We've got some more track. Where's Burton's? Probably. Yeah, this is miles off from what I've kind of drawn. Burton we can sort of work with-ish, I think. Although having said that, we do have the track from Lichfield. Everything's, yeah, because the map's, it's not a true north-south map. It's kind of, that would be more north, wouldn't it? Looking like that, I think. Yeah, so got this track here, and then we've got another junction which comes off just a little bit after it. Just, well, a little bit before Leicester, and then that heads off towards Burton, and then it links in the bottom of Burton upon Trent, and obviously Burton upon Trent goes around here. That's yeah, around here. That's useful, isn't it? Right, so we've got Derby coming down pretty much. Actually, where's Lichfield over here? Everything's not right. Where's Lichfield? Walsall, Tamworth, Nuneaton, Lichfield, Trent Valley is there. Yeah, so we've got that track there. Yeah, I've just really confused myself with my drawing. Just doesn't tally with what I've painted on here. Such is, yeah, I mean, Burton really shouldn't be that close to that anyway. That's fine. Let's just try and work things out. Yeah, I fear I may have to move Lichfield, possibly, which might make things look a little bit better, actually. Because, yeah, from Derby to Lichfield, basically it's almost a straight line. So you come out of Derby and then you head straight down like that. I mean, it still doesn't line up like properly, but that track there's like way out anyway, so maybe a bit more like that. We're gonna have to move Burton as well, Burton upon Trent. Yeah, and then that kind of curves off down to meet that piece of track there, so I might have to rebuild Lichfield in order to get this to work. But it still doesn't solve our problem of kind of Leicester being in the wrong place. Let's get rid of Loughborough, rid of Leicester, and then it's just a straight run then down to Kettering and Bedford. It's quite a long run down, actually, by the looks of it. So what am I doing here? So we've got that track. This just wants to run off. Yeah, we're still kind of miles away from, so Burton is going to go about here, I think. and then the track comes in and then heads off down. It's still, yeah, miles longer than it is in real life, I think, that track, and then that obviously heads up. So we've got our little bit of a delta junction in there. That's, yeah, it's more to do with kind of lining up with Nuneaton, I think, more than anything, and trying to make that track not look as ridiculously long as it otherwise would do. Right, and then we're just heading up towards, well, not towards Derby actually, towards what will be East Midlands Parkway. So this track, actually, where's the standard green? Let's just get rid of all of this. The joys of working with a map which isn't to scale, which kind of doesn't help in the first place. It's just really hard trying to get tracks to line up correctly, and that's Tamworth as well. Need to line that up with something. So this track actually wants to come to the east of Derby, doesn't it? A little bit, and then we've got like really complicated junctions, so we need space. So maybe if I just continue this track, say to about there, get rid of this. I guess this is a good episode to see the whole process that I go through with trying to line up the tracks and things and make things work. So we've got what will be East Midlands Parkway about here, I'm guessing, and then we've got a big delta junction, and then we've got another junction over there like would go to Nottingham, but obviously it's not going to, and then we're going to have a little short section of track, and then this is the bit that runs off to Burton-upon-Trent, and then another junction coming off that ish, and then this track here, another piece of track which goes towards Uttoxeter and somewhere else. Yeah, we're just not as lined up as I'd like to be with everything. Can I get away with keeping Rugeley? Really don't want to have to rebuild Rugeley, but I guess it doesn't matter too much because this track anyway is not going to get used. It's just going to be massively longer than it otherwise would be. I'm just going to have a little bit of a think, I think, and just take a look at where things need to lie. Okie dokie, so I've had a little bit of a think, and this is what I've come up with. I think this is the best workaround. So we've got Derby here, we've got Burton-upon-Trent here at Loughborough, and then we're going to have to move Lichfield, unfortunately, just to get it to work. And it's still a little bit kind of skewed, elongated, if you will, but I think this works. I think I'm going to have to build a town, or at least a few stations between Kettering and Leicester, because it really is kind of a long run with not very much. I'm sure there will be stations, towns in between. I might not build the towns, but I might just build the stations, just so there's something of interest, basically. So I think after all that, we should get on and probably build something, shouldn't we? So let's get on and build the Midland Main Line, or a part of it. So catenary, no, and then we want some tracks. So basically nice and simple, nothing too complicated. 3 tracks, or 2 tracks that become 3 along here. So let's just take a look. Yeah, this junction this is Wigston Junction, I think it is. Looks a lot more complicated than it actually is. It is just a flat delta style junction with a bit of 3 tracking thrown in, so we'll have a 3rd track there. I'm using the high speed, the modern track, because it is a high speed, high speed-ish main line. Up to 125, isn't it, for the most part? So I think there might be some slower sections, but it is, it's a main line, so we'll stick with newish looking track. A couple of switches, probably won't get used, but we'll just chuck them in anyway because they exist, and then just build this little bit of a junction. So this just goes straight up to here. Nothing really that complicated. The only little bit of interest is this. I thought it might have been a grade separated junction or something, but it's just a normal flat junction with a little bit of separation, at grade separation of the tracks, something. But maybe I'm probably elongating this junction actually. Doesn't need to be as big as that. Let's just get the tracks in, shall we? Make sure we can achieve that 125 speed that we're after, and then we've got a little bit of a junction. This goes off towards Nuneaton. A couple of tracks here. So first things first, we need this. Actually, we'll continue this over. There is a station around here, but I'm not going to build it. And then just swing that in to that individual track there. We'll swing in the 2 tracks first of all, and then coming off here, we've got, just as it starts to separate, we've got quite a sharp curve like that, and then this starts to run alongside. It doesn't want to be, maybe it wants to be even sharper than that, because it is pretty straight. The track coming off here, it wants to be quite straight, so what we can do is just chuck in quite a sharp curve off that single track section. Yep, like so, and then another little bit of track, because it does actually go to double track, and then we've got a little bit more of a curve as it runs alongside this for a little bit, and then it does just want to run straight into the side like so with a, yeah, that's fine. And then there's just a switch like so. Is that all looking good? I think it is. Yeah, because that runs there, that's all fine. So this possibly might be a bi-directional track, mightn't it, this one here? Well, it'd have to be. I'm not sure if trains actually use it. It might be used by freight trains perhaps. I don't think there's any passenger services would use that particular chord. Right, and then this wants to run into the side of that. No, baby. Maybe if we do it from there. Can I just... No. You've got to do a switch from there, have I? Right, so that runs alongside like so. Does it? No. Right, let's try that again. Yeah, I've just made this all a little bit longer than it otherwise would be. Right, so let's... Yeah, it's all just a little bit exaggerated. So this track wants to start to head. Yeah, that's massively exaggerated, I think, actually. Looking at it now, right, this wants to start to run back into there, into the other two main tracks, like so. And then this wants to start to run into the side. What speed are we getting on them screws? It does go quite slow though. Right, from there, 80, 89, yeah, I'll take that. That's good. Bit more track. It's not 4-track, but I just need to, well no, I don't need to do that actually. That fuses the matter. So that runs into the side of that, and then this almost runs into the side, well, runs into that, and then this becomes the 3rd track, like so. Get rid of that, and then there is a switch, so that's merged into there, that's fine. And then this runs a little bit, and then this merges into just become 2-track again. And then after that's done that, we want a 2nd track, and maybe you need to just extend this a little bit, this little bit here, just out a little bit more, like so. Yeah, I think that's all right. Well, it does, I feel like I'm missing a switch, I think. So that runs into the side, and then just before that runs into there, we've got another switch here. Yeah, I think that will just about be right. Right, so then we've just got 2 tracks then running for a while up to here, and then we've got this track here. I mean, this, from what I can work out, I think this is just either a freight track or it's not used anymore, it's just disused, but it kind of threw everything off. Well, it wasn't the fault of the track, but yeah, it's the fault of the map and the map maker. But we do want some bits of track. So where am I actually building Leicester at this point? Probably around here. So we've got a little bit of track running off, and then we've got this track. I think I will use, yeah, I'll use the modern track I think for now, and then we do just have a mod, like a bit of track coming off there. No, we don't have a bit of stub like that. I don't know why I've done that. Just a piece of track runs off, and then there is a switch around here, and then another one. No, am I yeah. Alright, so it's 3-track from here, so it's back to the drawing. Yeah, so I hadn't finished this junction fully, so we've got a switch about there, just confusing myself. I think it's the day today for me confusing myself, and then a switch there, and then we are 3-track again. I think pretty much all the way into Leicester. That switch there, and then there is another switch there, like so, and then there's a few bits of siding and stuff, but I think what I'll do is just downgrade this little bit, but I don't want catenary on it. Yeah, I just don't like having the switches mix in, so I think I'll just keep the switches as the more modern track. I suppose it makes sense. And then we just got a bit of a siding here. Not entirely sure what it's for, but it's there, so we'll put it in. And then just this track runs off up towards Burton upon Trent eventually, but I won't be worrying about that too much. I'll just yeah, I'll just leave that as is. Right, so then we've got that. So we've built that junction. We're not 3-track all the way though, so it is, get rid of some of this. So just right, what am I doing? Not having a good day today, I don't think. Right, so it goes to from 3 tracks to 2. Don't know what that was about. I think it's just my drawing's a bit skew, that's all. Right, so that switch, good. I mean, I don't need to spend a huge amount of time on this really, because I can't envisage that this will be getting used that much. But I just liking having a little bit more accuracy on these things nowadays. Right, 103, I think I'll take that. That should be fine. Maybe a little bit better. I don't think it runs off like it does. It's the only thing when you're working with open rail maps, sometimes the junctions are a little bit, they don't look how they'd look in real life. But I think I'll take that. I think I'll work with that. And then we want a little bit of a cheeky tunnel. So we'll have to do the usual trick of raising the terrain. So raise it to about there. That should do the trick, I think. Brush size, brush strength. Yeah, that should be. It's not a particularly long tunnel, but it is a tunnel, so I will build it. Again, just trying to improve the accuracy as my builds as I progress. So that should all be fine. Right, okie dokie, so we're finally getting somewhere. Now we can move on to building Leicester Station. This is going to be quite a long episode, I think. That junction took probably a little bit longer than I thought it would, but never mind. Yeah, that's all looking okay-ish, if not a little bit elongated. Right, so let's chuck a station in. What am I going to use for this? It is... I think I will use NL. It doesn't really matter what's what at the minute, just chuck in the platform. So this is where Leicester's going. I did put a dot, but it doesn't help. Well, yeah, we'll put it in about there. Where's everything else? Yeah, maybe if we move it up a little bit. Don't want it to be too, yeah, I think that'll do. Maybe then am I gonna have to move the tunnel? Yeah, because it is, you get the junction, and then tunnel, and then it is pretty much Leicester. If I look at the map, I think sometimes it probably does help if I look at the map this way, kind of on a bit of an angle, because then it does actually make sense where things are placed. So if I look at Tamworth, they are pretty much on the same sort of axis. So that, yeah, that does work, but I don't want to build it anyway. I don't know why I'm building it now. But I want to build the station, not the actual town. Right, let's get this station constructed. So let's take a look. What are we doing? We're doing an NL, I think, by the looks of it. And we want to do some tracks first of all. Get rid of the ones we've put in. Wants to be, actually I didn't put in how big the station was, did I? Let's have a guess. Something about, actually we'll go more northwards, and I think I'll just put one. It's quite a long station. It's just got 2 through tracks through the middle there, and then we're going to go with our platforms and out. Quite wide platforms as well on both the sides, but it is flanked by tracks either side, a bit like that, and then just tracks. Oh, what are you doing? It's doing that thing where it's trying to spot third rail and not liking it. Something a bit like that ish. Right, so next thing is MISC, I think. Right, so yeah, I think I'm going to do it like this. It looks to me as if there's 2 sets of steps or something, because there's like 2 covered areas, and then there's like a big gap, and then there is a set of steps at the very far end of the platform as well. So what I'm going to have to do is go to platforms invisible, and then on this end we'll have to have an NL. I think this will have to have platform as well to make it work, and then just a set of steps like that. And it's not like even close to being accurate, I don't think. Passenger building, but as close as we can get with what we have available to us. Right, so back to MISC. We want some benches, I think. May as well have them all the way down, I think. And then is this the NL roof? No, that's not NL roof. That's the NL roof. Yeah, from what I can gather, it looks like it's weird because the roof looks the same colour as the platforms. It's got like a weird yellow tinge to it, but it does appear as if the canopy covers the whole station, which is unusual, apart from the very end. And this set of steps just goes to a car park by the looks of it. And then passenger building, yeah, let's just... Has that got an entrance? Without entrance. Yeah, I just wish these passenger buildings would line up. It's my only kind of what am I doing? My only one gripe at these is they don't all line up together, or they're not easily kind of connectable. Yeah, you've got like really tiny little building there, and then that one doesn't line up with that one. That one just about lines up, but I don't want a canopy on it. Right, let's keep pressing delete instead of B, which is demolish. Right, let's try this B, and then try and remember which segment it was I actually used. I think that's a bit too big. Just trim it down, I think. Maybe, yeah, I think I'll take that. Good, so far so good. Right, and then back to tracks. Let's get these deleted a little bit, just so we can line them up correctly with the 2 main platforms, two main tracks that go through, and then again just 2 main tracks going out the back, like so. And then we've got this track here, just wants to merge into the side 40. Probably that'll be alright, I think. And then another one, a little bit slow, but I think I will take it. And then we've got another track. Not sure if this wants to be high speed or the more modern looking concrete track, does it? I don't know, but we'll keep it. And then a little bit of track, a little bit of third track, and then nice, reasonably, yeah, 70. I think I'll take that. And then another switch just before that tunnel. It's going to be a slow switch, but hopefully shouldn't be too much of an issue. I think maybe, actually no, we'll push back for third tracking a little bit. Maybe, yeah, I think we'll go with 60, and then we'll just have a little slightly faster switch, something a bit like that. Actually, this track doesn't want to do that. It wants to be deleted. It's leaving little tiny bits for some reason. Right, so within this third track doesn't do that either. This probably wants to be older style track. It's leaving little tiny segments. I don't know why it's doing that. Right, let's delete this right back. Wow, don't know why it's leaving little tiny bits. Right, let's get rid of that. Or does it? No, it does. It does run right the way alongside. Good, I had it right the first time around. And then we've got a little bit of, so we've got a switch coming off. And then we'll have some older track within the middle. I think there's 3 tracks, that's with an autosave. Yeah, so we'll just have three tracks in the middle, 3 bits of siding, like so. It doesn't really matter about the speed or anything of the switches, just trying to get that in there. And then this, I think what I'll do is run that off holding shift so it doesn't snap anymore. No, and then run that straight into there. That should look alright, should it? Yeah, I think, and then just run that on. Yeah, I'm not sure about this track actually. Yeah, I think all of these tracks we will actually downgrade because they are pretty much just all sidings apart from the track that runs through the station. And let's just get rid of that and then maybe just to about there, I think. Or maybe actually this whole track. No, don't do that. Just want, that's a little bit better, isn't it? And then that wants to be modern track. Let's just take a look. Yeah, it just gives a little bit of differentiation between the sidings and the actual running lines, doesn't it? It makes it look a little bit more accurate as well. So next thing is get all of these tracks merged in. Again, only achieving 40, but these tracks do kind of merge in. It's the only thing with not having curved platforms, or like, it would be nice if there's like a nice curved platform end. That'd be really nice. Don't know if that, probably not achievable, that's why we haven't got them, but I know I've got like the mod which allows you to put tracks in like platforms and stuff like that, which I guess I could do, but it's just not the same, is it? Even, and you can't merge them into the side of each other. Well, you can actually, but yeah, it's just not the same, I don't think. Right, so let's get back to putting the track in, a bit like that. And then this track here, actually. Yeah, I think there are 4 running lines actually, so we'll chuck in 4. I think this is the part where it becomes 4 track all the way up towards Loughborough and through Loughborough and onwards. Right, so then that wants to merge into that into that track, and then this track actually wants to become the 4th track, a bit like that, and then we'll have another switch running alongside. How's that looking? That's, yeah, I think that's all. No, it's not at all. Get rid of you. Right, so this track here, this does actually look like it might be used for something, but I think, right, so you just go straight into the side and then you want to run up there and then along. Yeah, maybe if you just nibble these back a bit and all these little bits. I don't know what's going on with them, to be honest. Right, good. All right, and then this track, nope, there's another little tiny bit left. This track runs alongside and then we'll have it join up like so, and you're another little bit of siding as well. I thought there was only 3 sidings, but there are 2 tracks. Oh no, that's fine, there are 4 sidings. That's good, all good. Right, go back to the old. Right, just have that to about there. Yeah, I think I'll just maybe just, no, I won't do anything. That's all snapping. Yeah, that's all good. Right, that's actually quite complicated, this. It looked like a relatively simple station, but it's reasonably complicated. Right, so we've got those tracks doing that, and then another track coming off. Yeah, yeah, I think this should all be kind of older style track, and then just after that it does split off for another. There is a railcare depot or a maintenance depot of some description around here as well, so we'll have that over there, and then another track like so, another little bit of siding. Yeah, and then yeah, just dead ends there, and then we want some switches. So we've already got that switch merging into there, and then just after that we've got a little bit of a switch and then another one, a little bit more track, so we're heading off towards Loughborough up there like so, a bit more 4 tracking. Yeah, the only problem with all these switches is they are going to make 4 huge block section, and then a few more switches here reasonably. I think I'll take 60. I think that will work. Right, the next thing is a couple of roads before we wrap this up. So we want a road, main road. This is where things get a little bit interesting. So 1, 2, 3. I would like this road to be as low as physically possible. I think at this point, this is where the 0 height bridge would probably come in handy, which is something I've never got to grips with for some reason. Right, so we'll have, where's the concrete? That's an iron bridge. Is that concrete? No pillars? Yeah, we can't. Well, actually saying that, it was putting a pillar in, wasn't it? And it wasn't complaining. Just don't, yeah, it's a little bit of fouling going on there. Maybe if we just adjust that bridge. Is that just, I think if it's just outside of the ballast, then it's not going to foul the actual train or the track, is it? So we'll put that in there, maybe just make it a little bit shorter and then bring it down, and that can go off somewhere, don't know where. Right, so this side is where it gets a little bit more tricky. It needs to come down as quickly as physically possible and then just run off. Yeah, it does that weird dippy thing, doesn't it? Right, let's I do that. How's that looking? It's not looking too bad, but we do actually want to own this, don't we? Because we don't want the AI deciding that it's going to build roads shooting off the side. The only thing with this, it just makes it a little bit less realistic because this road kind of runs straight into that, and it's just not doable. So I think what we'll have to do is we'll have to use a little bit of creative license and just put a little bit of a dog leg. Little bit of a dog leg in there. Is that just making sure? I mean, it is a little bit rubbish, but it's not kind of totally rubbish. And then I think we'll put in the actual car park that does exist. Is there a bigger one? And then can I put 2 bits? Right, so let's get a road off there and a road off there, and then the car park just turns into nothing. Right, so we'll have to have a little bit of a gap. Just trying to build streets to try and encourage a little bit of building. Yeah, and then on this end we do have another bit of road. Actually, we need to get rid of this car park that we've just built because the actual road is like almost on top of the platforms. Why? I don't know. Oh right, that's because it was snapping to the track. Right, again, we want this to be as low as we can get away with. Yeah, it's like really wants to snap, but I can't hold shift obviously because holding shift adjusts the height. Yeah, it's determined to snap to the track. Can I just, yeah, I don't know. It's probably because of that fake platform, is it? It just doesn't like it, so we're gonna have to have a really long bridge and then chuck that in there, a little bit of a pillar. Yeah, I think I'll take it, and then just bring this down to the ground like so, and then this end just goes off somewhere. And then again, we're just gonna have to, actually we own all of this, so it doesn't really matter, but don't want to own every kind of last bit of the road, because you do want to give the game some kind of opportunity to build stuff. So that's in there, that's fine, and then we'll just kind of finish that off with the parking. Yeah, I just wish it wasn't kind of rounded on the end. That's my only gripe, my only little gripe with this, with the parking. The parking mod is fantastic, but yeah, just wish it wasn't like rounded on the edge like that sometimes. Right, we'll have a little bit of road. Can I put a road in there? And no, just does weird things. Right, finish that out. I know I can do this, but you can't always do this sort of thing and it work properly. And then we'll just have a little bit of road like so. Just trying to build the trying to build the roads before I place the town, and then we'll just have like a little bit of a weird angle, I guess, on that road. Will we? No, we won't. That looks too weird. Right, so a little tiny little T-junction, and then we'll have to do 2 little curves by eye, and we do have quite a sharp curve on that, but I think we'll have to take that, and then we'll just chuck in a little bit of a link across there. Let's see, no, I won't own that. I'll own that little bit of road. I'll probably own this little bit of road as well, just in case the AI decides to do something. And the car park, I guess, do you own that? No, I'll own that as well. Just back to the roads again, just having a quick look. Yeah, don't own that, just own that little bit. And then similarly, actually, do I own this bit of road? So I own that bit of road as well. Good, so there we are, that's Leicester. Let's chuck the town in. We're going to go with, I think we'll go again with small, and we'll just place that down there like so. And that's Berwick upon Tweed. There we go, so that took quite a bit of doing actually, didn't it, in the end, with all the tracks that I've had to kind of paint on and stuff like that. But we've managed to actually get Leicester Station built. I don't think it looks too bad actually, it'll do the job. And yeah, I think that's it for today, so I'm going to leave it there. Say until next time, bye bye.